Music Hall, where wrestling's toughest tournament, the Northern, makes its triumphant return to Smash Wrestling. I'm Scott Hunter alongside Casey Andrews. Casey, what a show we have here today.
My God, I feel like I've seen a ghost. Scott Hunter appears as if from out of nowhere for the biggest tournament in Canadian independent wrestling, and my God, what a stacked card we've got. Talent galore, Scott.
10 men will enter, only one will leave, and the prize at stake, the main event at Super Showdown. Let's get right to the action.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. From Toronto, Ontario, weighing at 194 pounds,
Brent Banks, the one-man dynasty, made his return to Smash Wrestling just a few months ago, and he now enters the Northern Tournament. Casey, no stranger to this tournament. Brent Banks has the most tournament experience out of all the participants. Does that help him?
You know, you would think so, and in most cases I would say Brent Banks is a surefire money choice to win the Northern, but with the amount of talent in this tournament, whether you know who they are or whether you don't, you're going to find out that this is the tournament to see, but still, Brent Banks might be the man to beat.
Well, before you get to the final, before you can win a final, you first have to get to the final. First things first round matchup, and he's got his work cut out for him here. And Brent Banks, no strangers to each other. This is a match that both men have wanted, and the stakes could not be higher.
Well, and you talk about a guy who's got a chip on his shoulder. Carter Mason's got a whole cinder block factory across those widespread wings. And Carter Mason feels he is owed something from Smash Wrestling despite multiple opportunities and multiple failed opportunities. Carter Mason still finds himself with an opportunity to get himself to the finals and possibly a Smash Wrestling Championship contest.
And maybe it's my age coming to play here, but what the hell does dead ass mean?
Couldn't tell you. Last time I sat down too long, my butt went to sleep. That's as close as I get.
Usually happens to me watching your matches.
I have nothing to say there. Brent Banks, Carter Mason here. This came out about after last event. Scott, these two, well, they clashed. And there is the bell. We are underway. Brent Banks, Carter Mason, one-on-one. Both men in phenomenal condition here.
All right, Casey, another man in a hurry to get things going. The opening bell has rung. What do you think about the attire now of Carter Mason? The jeans and the sneakers. I mean, he's gone away now from the tights. Is that going to play a factor, do you think, in a matchup like this? I feel like it'd be hard to wrestle.
You know, those jeans look tighter than Puma skin, so it might be something that...
you pooed your what?
Puma skin. Carter Mason, though, looking in phenomenal shape here, and Brent Banks kind of wondering what happened there, but...
But again, Brent Banks, he doesn't want to rush into anything in this match. He doesn't want to make a mistake. There's the do-rag.
Devastating.
Complete lack of respect from Carter Mason here. While Brent Banks has been away, Carter Mason, to his credit, has been making a name for himself here in Smash Wrestling, climbing the ranks of the card, believes he's entitled to a lot more. This is, make no mistake about it though, this is the house that Brent Banks built.
Now Scott, I know you say that he's been climbing the ranks, but all he's been doing is whining, complaining, and losing. He's been dropping so many matches in a row, and the problem is that Carter Mason still feels entitled despite his shortcomings, and he feels that, Brent Banks has the do-rag now. Hold on here.
I don't think that's how you wear them.
No! Thunderous chop across the chest.
That one echoing throughout the London Music Hall. And he's Irish whip now. Here comes the pace. Starts to pick up here.
Boom! Massive
Corkscrew uppercut there from Banks. Looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
Brent Banks looking to give Carter Mason some more of those terrible tacky tattoos that he's got everywhere, but
splash there in the corner, and Carter Mason in a bad way early here.
Now the problem here, Brent Banks showing that power, my goodness.
Vertical suplex there into a cover here. 1, 2, kick out there from Mason.
Looking to make short work of Carter Mason there. Carter Mason, when Puma King was in town, Carter Mason went Puma hunting and it did not work out for him. And it's just been more of the same. Carter Mason insists that he deserves an apology from Smash Wrestling management and fans for the disrespect that he feels he's been levied, and it's just not happening for him. Massive kick to the ear of Brent Banks there.
And that dropped him like a ton of bricks.
Ooh.
And the feet right to the sternum here. You saw Brent Banks go for a cover early here.
The disrespect.
And of course, fans, while they don't want to rush into anything and make a mistake, there is another match for the winner later on tonight, so it's advantageous to end things as quickly as possible. Give yourself as much of a break. Advantage goes to whoever wins this match. They'll have the longest break before the finals later on tonight.
There is the preservation side of it here, as we do have all 5 initial matches. Oh my goodness! Brent Banks just fired up here.
Carter Mason now just grinding down Brent Banks, and another foot right to the sternum. And again, those are not wrestling boots, those are just everyday sneakers.
Now the one thing about Carter Mason is, despite the way that he's been acting, he's been as vicious and as unrelenting as I've ever seen him, and he's always just that close, Scott. He's always just that close to the big win, but he just can't pull it off, and you wonder if the crowd gets under Mason's skin here.
Well, I mean, he has to find a way to combat a game set. He has to find a way to focus on the task at hand, because this losing streak, hang on, cover, 2, kick out from Banks. This losing streak that Mason has been on, he has a chance to undo all of that here tonight. If he can go on and win the Northern Tournament, he's main event Mason once again. He's going to the championship match.
Scott, the only thing that really matters is your last victory.
Hang on, roll up here from Banks, 2, kick out.
If Carter Mason could win the Northern Tournament, nobody would be talking about all of Carter Mason's losses, but oh my goodness, he just fired Brent Banks into the front row here at the London Music Hall.
And Carter Mason fully content to take a count-out victory in this as well. It doesn't matter how you win, as long as you do, you're going to advance to those finals.
Call it what you will, but Carter Mason was smart for a second there, catching his breath, but now going out after Brent Banks.
On a shot right to the back.
My goodness.
Taking the fight to the outside, and this is where things get dangerous.
And just dragging Brent Banks' eyes across that ring canvas there. There's a wire in there that keeps the ring apron on, Scott, and that can burn.
It's not going to win a match, but it's definitely going to wear your opponent down and cover here. It might win a match. Hang on, 2, kick out there from Banks.
Now, if it was anybody else, I'd give the devil his due, but Carter Mason called me out personally when he was asking for those apologies. It'll be a day where a pig wears pajamas before I apologize for anything to Carter Mason.
I've seen you in pajamas before. Wearing down Brent Banks now with that
was wrestling gear. The London Music Hall firmly behind Brent Banks here, who's been on a roll since coming back to Smash Wrestling.
Shots to the midsection from Banks. Oh, whoa, swing and a miss there.
Oh my goodness, Brent Banks using his distance, those long arms.
And Banks now capturing the foot of Mason. Mason is at his mercy. Ooh, some shots there in that one. I don't know if he connected fully with that one, but enough to knock Mason down. Mason now in the corner in a bad way. Here comes Brent Banks with another splash.
Carter Mason on Dream Street right now, Scott. Having a long night.
Reversal there, up and over goes Brent Banks. As again, he picks up the pace.
Banks sends him in, up underneath. We've seen it a million times and it never fails to amaze. Massive drop kick. Banks is money.
The athleticism of Brent Banks on display here. Cutter connecting! Launching himself halfway across the ring into a cover here. Shoulders down. Kick out!
Oh my goodness!
Kick out from Carter Mason, and Brent Banks was that close, and he knows it.
Scott, they don't get any closer than that. I think that our timekeeper had a little aneurysm there.
And we've got a replay coming here as we go look one more time at that cutter.
My goodness.
That was almost curtains for Carter Mason.
Brent Banks firmly in control here, but got to be wondering what's left in the tank. He's throwing his whole arsenal at Carter Mason here.
Stacking Carter Mason up. Oh, the top of that shot there. That one stung. You can see it in the face of Mason.
You know, I don't want to bring seasons into this too much, Scott, but the heat of summer, that sticky June air can't help with those chops either, making them just that much more painful. Mason now blocking.
Yeah, Banks thinking superplex here. That would be it.
If you look at Mason's left foot, it is hooked underneath the middle rope there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, look out now. No!
Super kick connecting to the trapped head of Brent Banks. Sunset
Oh my goodness, powerbomb out of nowhere.
into a cover here. 2.
No, my goodness.
Brent Banks gets the shoulder up. This match continues. And we have another replay coming here. You see that sunset flip from Mason, almost securing himself in the finals.
That is twice now, Scott, where I thought this match was over, and yet these men continue on.
And now, Casey, you have to start thinking about the longevity of this tournament. The longer this match goes, the more of a disadvantage it's going to be for whoever makes it out of this matchup. But you have to win to get in.
If I'm either of these guys, I've got an ice pack waiting for me, win, lose, or draw. But knowing that there's a big five-way from the victors here. Carter Mason looking to take flight. There he goes.
And he connects and immediately throws Banks back into the ring. Banks discombobulated here. Carter Mason, springboard into a DDT.
Scott, that's got to be it.
That's full body weight of the shoulders too. And a kick out. Again from Banks. If Carter Mason was less observing himself within the cameras, flipping off the camera, and more focused on his opponent, that might have been 3.
And that's what I'm always talking about. Carter Mason can't pull off the big one because he's too busy making a statement. That middle finger should have been holding on to Brent Banks' leg firmly.
It's almost as if he can't help himself, Casey.
Banks up on Mason's shoulders now. Ooh, massive kick to the gut there.
That midsection dropping Brent Banks. He's gonna knight him, and no, Banks catches it, had it scouted, saw it coming. Oh, but he didn't see the knee.
Here we go, Mason again. Banks spins him out. Oh,
Shovel driver.
This has got to
Cover.
be 2, 3. That is it.
Brent Banks picking up the victory.
And advancing to the fatal five-way final, Brent Money Banks.
Brent Banks gets the job done, but how much did it cost him?
An absolute barn burner by Brent Banks and Carter Mason. And once again, the hubris of the King of the North, dead ass, cost him the victory. Correct.
Yeah.
Carter Mason, apologize. That was a hell of a match.
This might be the most respect we've seen for Carter Mason.
I know it sounds strange to everybody here since you've been acting the past couple months, but there's something that I know that I don't think anybody in this building knows. When this man's head is on straight, he's one of the best wrestlers in this country.
We're good.
Wrestling London, I don't want to admit that, but it's true. you just stop letting those little demons in your head get to you, if you start appreciating every single person here that appreciates when you get this ring and perform, you just might have a very bright future here. I'm talking about title stuff. Here's Smash Wrestling.
You might have said some things that are true. You've known me more than most people in wrestling. I've been doing this since I was 14 years old. I'm 34 right now. You do the math. So, yeah, that was great. Surprised to me. Surprised to me who's wrestling. Brent, I hear you. Man to man, kid to kid, teenager to teenager, we grew up together. I hear you, Brent. Brent Bates, you are winning. 100%. You deserve to be in the main event today. You don't need to believe it, these fans don't need to believe it, but you know that I'm bullshit. For better or worse, for me, I speak my truth, whether it gets me in trouble or not. So London, Brent, I apologize.
Wow.
I'm going to reflect a little bit. I'm going to think about this humility that you say I'm lacking. These people seem to think I'm lacking. It might not happen overnight, but I give you my word. Everyone in this building, my word. The next time you see Carter Mason, it'll be a different Carter Mason.
Oh, that's something we're gonna have to see before we believe it.
Scott, is the power of friendship working right now? Brent Banks even looks a little... Well, either way, Scott, we've got our first competitor in the finals.
Brent Banks on his way. Carter Mason, by the sounds of it, he's gonna take his licks and go home and reflect and come back hopefully stronger and better.